Welcome back, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to everybody who has just logged in. So, firstly, welcome to the launch of wetjobs.in. My name is Vishal Raskina. I'm going to be taking you through the entire day's festivities here that we're doing, and we've had some amazing discussions. Just in the past right now, and we're going to have some amazing discussions right now, and it's going to be a fantastic afternoon. So for everyone, you haven't missed a lot, and there is so much more that's going to happen. So let me give you a quick recap on what wetjobs.in is as an opportunity to help you grow in the wedding industry. So let's call my friend Job Ustad back up. Let's have Job Ustad. So as you can see, this is wetjobs.in, and we are India's first job portal exclusive for the wedding industry. So when I think of a concept like this, the 5 questions that come to me are what, where, who, when, and why. So what is this entire concept? The concept is really, really simple. The concept is that it's a platform that ties the knot between job seekers and recruiters. The next question that we had was where do we find this? And it's really simple. It is an online website that can be accessed anytime from anywhere as per your convenience. The next question that came to me was interesting, that who is this going to be useful for? And the answer is also very simple. The answer is, and again, this caught me by surprise, right? Because we had planners, photographers, caterers, decorators, hotels, manpower solutions. This is what I thought it was. And then this explosion happened of so many things, which is unreal, like artist managers, butlers, accounts, cinematographers, digital marketing, content writers, hospitality services, videographers, designers, and so on and so forth. There's so much that happens. And someone very rightly said in the previous discussion that, the wedding is not, an entire wedding is not just for one person. It's made by an entire team. And that's why the job roles are so diversified. Now, the thing is, when you log on to this, what are the amount of hours that you're willing to commit? So we have full-time opportunities, part-time opportunities, freelance, internship, and project basis opportunities, which is very, very interesting. All these job postings under one umbrella. And why? Why do we use something like WetJobs? Because they make the recruiting process easy, and applying for a job is really, really simple. And as simple as 3, 2, and 1. You want to see? That's how. It's 3 steps, 2 minutes, 1 platform. The 3 steps are really simple. You either sign up as a recruiter or sign up as a job seeker. You make your company profile, or you make your profile when you're seeking for a job. You post your job requirement, and you can apply to the job of your interest. So those are the 3 simple steps. It takes 2 minutes, which is about 120 seconds, to sign up and make your profile. It's free to make the profile, by the way. And this is one platform that connects recruiters and job seekers. So I really, really hope you like this. We know what you're thinking. And these are a few questions, right, that we thought that, that some people will have, that I recruit even without WetJobs.in, or I already have loyal freelancers, or I already have social media platforms to network. I can just ask a friend for a recommendation. Or there are so many job portals already, like why do I need to use this one specifically? And there are answers to all of this. So the first bit is that this was the existing method of asking a friend, a colleague, running a recommendation down. The process is extremely tedious. In WetJobs, the solution is really simple and takes 2 minutes. All you have to do is make a profile, and you can find the talent of your choice. Next up, so there were these various apps where we would put up, hey, I'm looking for a job, or hey, I'm looking for someone. And that was the social media apps that we'd go through. So you'd have Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth. And that came again under one single platform. So exclusively for the wedding industry, all the jobs under there. As you can see, all the job portals, and under those job portals, there are a wide variety of industries, and under them, there are subcategories. This has just one, only wedding industry jobs, which is unbelievable, actually. So the entire idea is that we want you to search, connect, and grow in the wedding industry, and thus wetjobs.in. So I really hope you enjoyed that quick recap. We also want you to follow us on Instagram, which is WEDJobs. So it's WEDJOBS. Also, make sure to keep commenting on Facebook. If you can listen to me very, very clearly. We want you to keep commenting. Tell us what you liked about the sessions. Tell us what your talents are. Tell us if you're looking for talents, put it down in the comments. Try and share this everywhere else. And let's move on. Now, I want to take you through the website, right? Because we told you everything about it. We want to give you a look and feel of the website. Can we have the website up, Ustadji? So the website's really simple. This is the website that we have. You can take a look at it. From the eyes of a recruiter, when you want to post a job, all you have to do is go to post jobs. Once you move to post jobs, all you have to do is you can have you or your team member sign up for free on your behalf of the company and in the specific category that you'd like. So you have the company name, the company types. In the company types, you can see the various categories, right? So you have hotel management, you have event decor, you have invitations, so on and so forth. You also have a section for others. So if your company does not fit any of these categories, make sure to click others and put it down there. So you can add your company type because we're all fans of creativity. We all like it out there. And it's as simple. All you have to do is then post the job and wait for the talent to come in touch with you. And that's brilliant. So WEDJobs gives you the opportunity to search for freelancers in any city. Job seekers can post their video resume. Now, this is very interesting, right? Because you can not only see, but you can also hear the talent before shortlisting. Once you post your job requirement, the job seekers will contact you directly and you can revert to them as per your shortlisting process. Any requirement across varied job roles like client servicing, graphic designer, content writer, RSVP manager, so on and so forth. There's so many requirements and so many different jobs. So it's a multifaceted industry, right? So there's so many job roles and there's something for everyone. Now that we know that job roles, that wedjobs.in, ये जो है will help you recruit अगर आपको full time भी चाहिए या फिर you want a part time employee, an intern या फिर even a freelancer, then all you have to do is sign up your company and make that hiring process easy. Now, the next bit, right, is very, very interesting, this next discussion, because the wedding industry consists of so many categories. Now, you have something as simple as logistics, actually not simple, they are the most complicated, actually, what am I saying? But you have logistics, you also have artists, invite, gift makers, hotels, hospitality, and so much more. I'm sure that different companies and different job roles, and it is never going to be, it's never ending. The current process, the current situation is that a lot of things and these processes keep changing. So companies prefer to hire people on project basis rather than a full-time employee. So we have a very, very interesting panel ahead of us. And this panel is something that I'm also going to look at because I started my journey in the entire wedding industry as a freelancer. So for me, I think it's just beautiful to listen to these stalwarts coming up and speaking. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome our moderator and panelists from the discussion that I like to call the new age requirement, spot hiring. So a moderator for this session is someone very, very interesting. And I've been a huge fan because I just read her entire body of work and it's Fantastic. I'm actually going to get in touch with her after this also, just to take some training, because she's an entrepreneur, an educationist, and a leadership coach. She began her journey in the media and entertainment industry over 3 decades ago and has co-founded ICE Global and Wizcraft Management Institute of Media and Entertainment. She's been an integral part of the event industry and has been part of various industry initiatives, while an NEC member of IMAM. We have with us the one and only Miss Shushma Gaikwad. Welcome.
Thank you, Vishal. My God, that was a nice introduction. I appreciate that, Vishal. Yesterday, when we had a team meeting, I asked, who will be the moderator? And when told, I did not realize that you were as good as you are. I actually smiled a few times today. So thank you for bringing that smile on a busy day like today. And welcome all you viewers. Really looking forward to having this discussion. And before we go any further, and before I go further and introduce each and every of our exciting panelists, I really want to talk a moment about the topic, if you can indulge. And what I really want to say is spot hiring. And for some reason, we in India equate spot hiring with freelance jobs. Well, I must say, most of those who have really created an impact in the industry started with freelance jobs. All of us, every single one of us who've been around here for the past 28, 29, 30 years have started with freelance jobs. So spot hiring is not necessarily only an avenue for freelance jobs. In my perspective, spot hiring is all about creating your career and taking the first step toward your career. And that is what we're really going to be discussing today, because I work a lot with students, and one of the biggest questions and issues or concerns that students have, parents have today is, will my child get a job? Or ma'am, will I get a job? Another question is, will I get a steady job? Now, the perspective that we're going to really explore today is steady versus impactful. What we're going to really discuss today is what are the needs of our industry today and how are you going to fit in if you're looking for a job. And we're also going to be discussing what is the industry looking at when they're hiring talent to join them. So I've got to tell you, there's a huge trend that I have seen, that there's a huge shift. And the shift is that today is no longer a day and age of generalization. Yes, you're expected to know everything about everything, yet it is a point in time where specialization has become very, very important. And what's the best way for a student and aspiring event manager to explore what you specialize in? Is by doing a little of everything and then finding your nook and finding your cranny on, hey, you know what? This is something I'm brilliant at, or this is something I'm excellent at. And what Red Jobs actually does is provides that opportunity. How? Because Red Jobs puts up all the requirements that planners have, not only planners, and we're going to explore that. The industry is much beyond only event planning. But what is the requirement that those planners have or those employers have, and providing the right fit? So as a student or an aspiring professional, what I would request you to do is explore. Work with the best of the best in the industry. I've got 4 panelists here who are the best of the best in the industry, who are actually have set up enterprises from ground zero and have really slowly working their way up right to the top. Understand the requirement. Number 2, see if you fit that requirement. And number 3, take the plunge and work on the requirement. The most important, while you're doing all that, don't view spot hiring as a freelance opportunity, is my request before I open this panel. And I'm sure each and every panelist is going to agree with me. And that being said, with my 2.5 bits of gyan, I really want to open this panel and welcome each and every panelist here. Welcome, Jyota. Welcome, Udit. Before I introduce each and every one of you, welcome, Shrey. Welcome, Farah. So I hope you all can hear me clearly. So I'm going to begin by introducing Jyota. So Jyota Hemdev, she's been a thorough professional and she's been a professional with an upbeat vibe. She is the founder of YOLO Entertainment Official, and she approaches each task with literally sheer dedication and optimism. She oozes confidence, and I'm sure you're going to see quite a bit of that today when she's online and she speaks, and has a keen eye for detail with every task that she undertakes. She's got a solid experience in this field, and she believes that in every waking moment of her work is about offering the customers a skillfully organized and executed experience of a lifetime. So welcome, Jyota. How does it feel to be here today?
Thank you so much, Sushma. It feels great to be here. I'm so glad that I'm on this portal with wedjobs.in and with all the other empaneled people on board today. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to a great conversation, Jyota.
Same here. Same here.
Okay, Udit, I'm next on, like literally the next in the charts is Udit Mukim. Well, Udit, he's, I really, Udit, I must tell you, I love the introduction that was sent to me about you, because that sounds like me a little bit, okay? So it says, the fussy perfectionist and the founder of InnoSet Studio. Now, Udit lives a dual life of meticulous planning and creativity. He's a fun-loving person and he keeps a thorough 360-degree perspective. He possesses impeccable skills in executing ideas. But I must say, this is what really got me, and that is that Udit has an undying love for food and adventure. So welcome, Udit. I love that fussy perfectionist line. Sounds like me. Welcome. How does it feel today, Udit?
Thank you so much. But this line was given to me by my wife. So I think I should thank her for this line.
Yeah, because it says so much, and yet says so little.
She knows that I'm a little fussy about things. And I always try to achieve that perfectionist thing in each and every corner that we try to raise. So thank you so much.
Welcome. And I'm going to move on. Shrey Khandelwal. Shrey, he actually joined Touchwood in 2017. He's as multifaceted as the company itself. Well, he's a great conversationalist and a food connoisseur. Now, this is an ardent follower of Shiva, and he believes in the concept of karma, and he leaves no stone unturned to provide his clients with an exceptional experience. Welcome, Shrey, and another time we're going to have a spiritual conversation as well. Welcome to this wonderful conversation of spot hiring.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And that was actually flattering. Thank you.
Most welcome. And now I'm moving on. The last and not the least is Farah Kundari. She is the founder and director of Pink Pagadi, and she's known for her ability to understand and create her clients' dreams. Well, according to her, there is only one goal, and that is turning dreams into reality. Pink Pagadi is actually a concept wedding planning company where weddings are not just about the grandeur and the class, but it's also about how do you go that one step further to go beyond the ordinary. Welcome, Farah. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you again. We just met a few hours ago.
Thank you, Sushma. It's great to be here.
So super. So guys, with everyone there, let's begin this conversation. I've got quite a few DMs. We've got many who have joined us. So we'll take a moment before I pose the first question. Welcome, Ankit. Thank you for joining us, and please do post any questions if you have any. Welcome, Jayesh. Appreciate you joining us. And all of those who have joined us on this live broadcast, please encourage us, send questions if you have any, and let's make this a hip and happening session, okay? So first question to Farah. Farah, there is, like I said, there's a very single-dimensional perspective of the wedding industry, okay? And that is that a wedding industry is about wedding planning. Well, it is much more than that. we all understand it is about today, especially it's about planning, it's about decor, it's about content creation also, given the fact that social media is playing such an important role. It is also about virtual event planning. It is about logistics, so many functions in weddings. Now, given the fact that you are absolutely, I would call it A grade when it comes to planning wedding decor, if you could tell me what is the skill and talent that you would require as a professional in this and as an entrepreneur in this industry, what kind of skill and talent would you require from our future generation?
Okay, wow, skill set. I think on a lighter note, the skill that you would require is to be like a superhero or a superhuman for the kind of stress and the kind of work that we come across each day. You know, the wedding industry is like so Muhurat based. There are these months in a year where you're like running like a mad person here and there. And then you've got these certain months in a year where you're like, okay, fine, I've got nothing to do. There's nothing moving kind of a thing. But that being said, coming back to the actual skill set that is required for a wedding designer, I would speak on the perspective of a designer. I think for me, the first thing that hits the chart is going to be a great imagination. Uh, a person who is planning to step into wedding designing or wedding planning or being a designer as such needs to have something like a photographic memory. I wouldn't call it a photographic memory, but I would call it a photographic imagination. Okay. Now there is something that you're pitching into your client. You should be able to close in your eyes and should be able to imagine it exactly the way that you're pitching it to the client. That is something that you definitely need in your person. You know, someone who can see something that is not being done, that he can just imagine it the way that it has to be there. Second skill would be a very detail-oriented person. You know, 80% of your job gets done and it is there, but it is the 20% that adds magic to it. And the detail is like a must for a wedding designer. Walt Disney says magic is not magic, it is all in the detail. And I strongly believe in that. Thirdly, I think a charming people's person, a person with whom a client could open up to. You know, you can only convert your client's dream into reality when they are up straight frank with you. And you really need to have in that charisma, that kind of a personality, that kind of an aura that makes your client feel very comfortable. Someone who's like a very charming people's person kind of a thing, a very network savvy person. Okay, wedding planning does not work without having networking and without being a people's person. A little bit of a skill of budgeting, because sometimes you're instantly pitching into your client and then you need to have that certain kind of a calculation and things that need to keep going in the background of your mind, saying that, okay, abhi pitch kar diya, because client being client is always going to tell you saying that this is my budget. And no matter how much budget a client gives you, as you keep growing on your career path, also it's never going to be enough. That with wedding planners can get, because it's not about the money, but it's about what you want to create with it, saying that you always want to do more. So somewhere you need to be a little bit of, you need to have your math right. A little bit of your math should be going on in the background of your mind. Resourcefulness. Our business is such that with every wedding, we end up adding newer things that we have not done in the past, things that we've just come across here and there. And a lot of times with the whole Pinterest and the social media thing and your Instagram and things, people come and just show you a picture and then they tell you saying that this is what I want. And then you're somewhere thinking, saying that, okay, fine, ye ho to jayega, lekin how am I? So you really need to be resourceful, and resourceful not only in terms of sourcing, but even in terms of your people connect, saying that, where am I? A resourceful person is definitely an add-on to a designer or a wedding planner, because you need to have a person in your team where you know that saying that this is what I'm imagining. Are you going to get it done for me? Yes. I know. This is the person that I need to run through. He's going to do it for me. He or she is going to do it. A multitasker. Absolutely. Events and wedding business does not work without multitasking. A good negotiator, problem solving techniques, tech savvy. Tech savvy is another thing. Every day we come across things that keep changing, from I think from our era where we started with pages to your mobile phones to your Androids and I don't know what. It's like your styling of pitching, you really need to be there kind of thing. So a very tech savvy person, calm, patient, and to top it all, you really need to be passionate about what you're doing. So I think for me, I know that's a huge list, but yeah, even few of that are met, and I think you could make it to any of the teams.
Yeah. So if I think what you're saying, Farah, there is a whole bunch. The skill set satellite is viewed, right? It is about, even if you have a few and you find your way, you can develop skills. Skills are something that one can always develop. Yet it's very important to have the right attitude and have the aptitude to develop the skills. Agar wo hai, then we are sorted and we can go on for this. Thank you, Farah. I think that was phenomenal. You kind of encapsulated it in a nice document. I think Shrey Uday, Jyota will get this document from her, and because I think it's phenomenal. You put everything in its place. So I'm going to move on to Shrey. Given the fact that WebJobs is about connecting bridge between recruiters and job seekers, there are certain skill sets that you would also look at, especially given the fact that you do immense amount of planning, there are logistics that are involved. Since Farah has given us a perspective of the skill set, if there's something that we feel requires to be added, I would also request you to focus a bit on what is the attitude that you would look forward to as recruiter.
So, I mean, I've been getting, so I get about 20 odd resumes a month. And when I look at the resumes, they're all beautiful resumes, they've written all the experiences and everything. But what I'm essentially looking at when I'm looking at a resume is the kind of knowledge that they carry, more than the kind of experience. Knowledge matters a lot in our trade. So a person needs to have the right knowledge about the hotels, about the venues, about the vendors, about the cities, because that's the first question that essentially comes to a planner. When you're in a planning meeting, that's the first question that you're asked, that, we are about 400 people, we are about 300 people, we want to plan a wedding somewhere in India, outside India. So this sets up the premise for the entire meeting. And then the next, definitely what Farah said, that that charisma, that charming personality, great communication skills are they're a very, very essential asset. So adding on to this, what I would say that presence of mind, calm character, these are two very, very essential things, because every now and then clients have become very smart. They will throw questions at you, and if you're not smart enough to just handle those questions and you just duck down, then probably the meeting's not going in the right direction. So I feel presence of mind is a very, very important thing. At the same time, to keep your calm all the time. I mean, we're in a high tempo zone almost all the time, and the kind of pressure that we're going through is intense. So I think these are few characteristics that essentially I am looking at when I'm looking at hiring a person.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Shreya. Appreciate that. I've got one question from the audience. So before I move on to Jyota, I'm going to take that question from the audience, if that is all right. From the viewers, I'm saying audience. Suddenly on some stage right now. So we've got a question from Pranav. Pranav asks, any opportunities for hotel management graduates in the wedding industry? So anyone can take that.
I think that there are definitely opportunity for hotel management people in the industry. In fact, wedding industry is such, I think any kind of a skill or any kind of a talent or any kind of a background is something that we are open for. If you look at wedding industry as such, most of our business not only comes in from our direct clients, not only in from social media, but hotel itself becomes like a very major important part of our business, because end of the day, that is where you're going to do in your execution. If we have someone from a hotel management background, that's the guy who could handle the venue and the coordinations with the venue and things like that for us. And why would I not have someone like that? Like, relationship management and things like that are a very glorified role in when you talk about the banking and financial sector. But why not in a wedding industry? We could create a role and call like a relationship manager, wherein I could tag maybe 5 hotels to a person, and then I say that, your relation, if I have a certain person who's been handling with my major 5 venues, okay, and also understands how things work on their end, and that would like be a plus point for me to have a person like that on my team, because that makes my life a lot more easier, because he knows both sides of the coin.
Yes, absolutely. Very well said. And I think all the panelists would agree. There's always space for, because I think hospitality and events are sister industries, actually. Yeah, because a lot of event management principles are based on hospitality principles. Whether it's customer engagement, whether it's a lot of stuff that we do also, whether it comes to F&B, logistics, travel, all that is very, very linked to what the hospitality industry really teaches. So I think more the merrier. There's space in our industry for everybody. Hospitality for engineers, for everybody, right? Doctors also really require. So coming on to Juweta. Juweta, welcome, darling. You're looking so pretty. I must say, and this the lighting is really perfect for you right now.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for being here.
So, Jyota, simple question for you actually. There is, and that's something we keep getting, right? Because right now, because there's work from home, there's the industry is fragmented. A lot of our colleagues are working from home. At the same time, weddings are happening across different cities. You've got teams deployed across different cities who are active. How do you keep the morale of your team high, Jyota?
Well, it's an interesting question, and we've been honestly working. It's something that we've been continuously working on and learning, being on the job. Day after day. It's been 1.5 years or 18 months, and each day is a challenge for each one of us to continuously keep up morale of the employees and in turn of the company. But as we speak at YOLO, we believe that teamwork is what makes the dream work. So whether we are all working together or all working from home, that is something that's engraved in our DNA. Having said that, due to the pandemic, we've actually faced a lot of our, of course, business being all over the place, and the seasons being haywire. We have been flexible enough as a company to extend to extend that flexibility to our employees to work from home, to work from their own cities. Our confluence points for any particular project, for instance, being the venue of the wedding, and they are still servicing our clients from the different cities that they are in and carrying out their responsibilities and roles that they have always been appointed for in the company, whether it's RSVP, whether it is creatively servicing the client, considering most of our client servicing during the lockdowns were through Zoom calls. So we have executed things, keeping our original teams intact and bringing them back on board as and when we have picked up projects in the company. So that's one way of keeping them engaged, of keeping them in touch with each other, of keeping them also busy, of keeping their minds occupied, however big or small or medium-sized the project is. We've consciously tried to go back to the same teams, even though it would definitely be easier for us as a company to probably, hire people who are in and around us. But that's one thing. Second thing is to obviously be more considerate, more flexible, because of the pandemic, health is of course of serious concern. So being flexible of job hours, considering now employees may have parents to look after at home. They may not be able to step out, not because of themselves, but because of, other conditions back at home, or of taking care of their own children, because now schools have also become, children have become a 9-to-5 job because of education online. So the world and the norms of working have changed. So being flexible, not being hard on them for that, giving them that it's not that, okay, they have to be at office at 11 a.m. and finishing at 7. As long as the role and the responsibility is given and it's done, it's fine. So not being so harsh on them, or not being so harsh on any individual per se. Thirdly, also giving access to them to more all the kind of resources that are possible. If there is any need, any help required, facilitating their lives, also trying to make it simpler, keeping them upbeat with the developments in the company, whatever it may be, a small win, a big win, because that at least keeps their morale higher, keeps them going, keeps them wanting to know more, and also the hope. Hope is eternal. So keeping them looking forward to more glorious times, and that yes, we are going to get back, and we are going to get back to what we were, in happier times. Also engaging in different projects, maybe, as a matter of fact, because certain roles and responsibilities may not have much to do at this point in time or earlier. So basically bringing the best talent that they have, which were probably not explored, and trying to give them that chance to those skills and those skill sets. And once they bring that onto the table, then within the company also helping us grow within the company. So for example, if we've not focused on brand building in so much time, maybe somebody could take up marketing in the company, maybe somebody could take up licensing with wedding blogs, as a matter of fact. So honing your skill sets and then relocating them in different job aspects. Yeah, so then there hasn't been any set rule, but going with the flow, we have pretty much done all of these things, and we've been able to keep afloat. So I'm guessing so on and so forth also would be the way to move.
No, but what I found very interesting with your response to it is that there is a constant need to go to the next level. There's a constant need to innovate. There's a constant need to move and grow, which I've seen from all the four of you, especially with our conversations that we've had. Now, that being said, I think it's very important for those that are watching, who can be students or who are aspiring event professionals. Please do take a note of this. It is about fostering your skill as well as enhancing it, and looking for the right fit when it comes to a recruiter to go ahead with it. Someone who can enable you to move ahead, and if you can see that the entire industry as a whole is committed to your growth. Yeah, so please be clear on that. And that's the one take home I've had, So thank you, Shweta, for your open and honest reply. I think it was very well said, and it just put our industry in excellently good light, if that's even English that I'm speaking. I'm moving on to, give me a moment. Now I'm moving on. Sorry, I'm right now in the living room, and there's a lot of activity happening, a lot of movement happening. So please give me a moment, everyone. Now I'm coming to Udit, and Udit, there is a question that is directly linked to this question. I've got a question in the chat directly linked to my question. So I'm going to ask both. I've started this entire conversation talking about spot hiring, and people in India say spot hiring is a trend that will pick up. I say spot hiring has been around for donkey's ages, especially if you look at global scenarios. Okay, if internationally spot hiring is the game. Now, is that, according to you, a convenient way or a feasible way for you to hire for short-term projects and multiple projects? If that is so, what is the advantage that you can see? Yeah, let's look at the advantage as a recruiter, as well as the advantage for those who are joining you. Yeah, let's look at it in two perspectives. And I've got a question. I hope it's okay if I just layer the question. The question is question is from Radhika. She says, "What type of experience counts? Does freelance count to build a career, or does spot hiring count, or does project work count, or does internship count to build a career?" So it's a very interesting question. So I'm layering both. So over to you, Udit.
See, as you truly said, this spot hiring has been here in this industry, in every industry since donkey years. Yes, it's been named as the gig economy that's been prevailing since years. But yes, and I truly believe that this is a very smart way of balancing your work with the cost structures in your companies. But there are always two sides of the coin that needs to be understood. Like, for example, you said that there are some advantages of the recruiter. Yes, there are some disadvantages as well. So, of course, there are pros and cons for everything. But I feel that this could be a game changer for majority of the people in our fraternity who have just started, or probably who are there in this industry since 4 years, 3 years, 2 years down the line. And on the spot hiring is something that they would probably appreciate and take it forward as per the organizational structures that they would want to raise on. Coming to some pros and cons that I have listed, what I feel is like for people who are probably in the thinking and the planning work that we require for people who want to plan the entire wedding. For example, we have a wedding in March 2022, and we closed the wedding in September 2021 as of now. So we would need that person, whoever is handling this wedding, since day one of the meeting. So because he is the face or she is the face of that project, and he or she is the wedding planner of that family, so she has to be there, or he has to be there throughout for these 7-8 months. So probably in this case, if I have someone on the spot, I am hiring him or her for this special project, and he or she is here with me for 7 months, I would like him or her to continue for probably longer if everything goes well, if the wedding goes well, if the client is happy, if we have a good feedback, and if we both settle in with some kind of understanding. So spot hiring is good as well. Plus, probably instead of asking him to step down after this wedding, I would probably ask him to continue further for my future projects, and probably take him forward for the next few years wherever we can take it forward. Talking about at InnoCept, I think it's a 10-year-old company now, and we have a team size of around 27-28 people. Out of that, 20 people are with us since 7-8 years. So I think that's a good achievement for us. We have been able to take them forward and keep them forever, because as Jweta said earlier, like teamwork makes our dream work. So I think team is the most important aspect when it comes to wedding planning. And we have always tried to make keep our team intact, even since the COVID has commenced. And I think we'd always try to keep a balance between work and team building. And I think hats off to Team WedJobs for getting us this future best team in our hands during this process. Coming back to the pros and cons of the spot hiring, what I feel is, talking about a company like us, we would really want people on a very quality check basis. So on the spot hiring would not let us check that item, that tick box. We won't be able to do that in terms of quality check. And majorly the clients that we get are through references. Many same families refer us. Many same families have weddings in their families back to back every year. So we can't keep getting new people on board every time we have the wedding in their family. So I think there is a few, I won't name it, but yes, I think this process of spot hiring would probably get me a permanent team person for my company rather than keeping him for a very short while. And this process of spot hiring would be beneficial for people for lower roles, like a person for an operations role or a person for F&B role. Like F&B is a very major factor nowadays that we want to get on board for a destination wedding, be it in India, be it outside India, because our clients, they are majorly focusing on the food. Food, you have chart, you have main course, you have separate dessert counter, you have a 24/7 lounge, you have a lot of things that are happening back to back in food. And food is, I think, the biggest department in a wedding planning scenario, more than probably an operations, more than probably an artist management department. That's what I feel. And in those departments, we can completely rely on the spot hiring, because we can hire people on board. We can ask them to be there with us for November, December, January, February. Then we have some lean period. We can probably relocate them. We can probably ask them to join us back after the season hits again. So I think for higher category, for wedding planners, spot hiring would probably be converted into a permanent solution. But yes, for lower categories of lower departments roles, we can definitely consider this kind of the trend that the wedding planning is trending now. And moreover, it's a very cost-effective process. Hiring a F&B manager for probably annually, talking about their salaries, I would not spend 10 lakh rupees on him. Probably I would ask him to come on project for my 6 months projects. For probably I'll put him in 20 projects back to back, and that's how I think it's a better idea to take these people on board. Moreover, one more last thing that I feel, spot hiring would probably not help us in the higher category people, in the higher wedding planner people. For example, there is a lot of leakage of system, database, our photographs, our events, a lot of things that we would not want to get leaked in the industry. Like if a person is on board for one project, for 3 months he is with us in this industry, I would not want that person to leak the USPs of our company, to probably put forward to go wherever he is going the next project with wherever company he's going. I would not want him to leak that detailed element sheets or any database to any other company. So I think this is all what I feel about the spot hiring, and it's more of a game changer for the wedding industry nowadays. But yes, for few departments, I would really consider this aspect, and I would disagree, or probably there are few disadvantages as well in terms of if we go further with this.
Fair enough. Yet I think for those aspirants who are looking to get a foothold in the industry, this is the best step to take. If not, for those who, because there are opportunities for bigger careers as well, for long-term jobs as well, on web jobs. And for the higher categories, one can opt for really getting a full-time job and being placed right and having a meeting of vision, etc., which is more important when it comes to, like you said, for the senior category of the staff. So interesting points with it. I really appreciate the points you made. I really don't know how much more time we have, but I have 3 important, pertinent questions listed here. So we'll, address them like as ASAP as we possibly can. So I'm moving on to you in the timing. Someone could please PM me how much, chat, send me a personal chat telling me how much time we have, will be great. I'm moving on to our 2 ladies, Farah and Shweta. Very quickly, could you encapsulate? Because whenever we're talking about the wedding industry, like I said, and I began, everyone just thinks of client servicing karna hai, your operation or production banna hai. But there are many other requirements that organizational, at least wedding organizations require or need besides these core functions. So what would that be? If you could please share with us, Farah, A few if you could share, and Jyota, a few if you could share. Then let's go, let's make it simple. 3, Farah, if you could share 3, and Jyota share 3.
I think wedding planning, the name has been used so much, but somewhere we forget that it is a wedding planning business end of the day.
Exactly.
And like any other business organization, okay, our requirements are the same. Okay. To name a few, like any other business organization, we do have an accounts department. Our hierarchy in the accounts department is the same. Our work in the accounts department is the same. It's a little more interesting and a little more challenging than any other industry. I would say our accounts department would be a little more interesting for that matter, if you know what I mean. And admin, which wedding office or any office does not require a complete admin and an HR team. Everyone needs an admin and an HR team, and exactly the same roles that any other business organization would have. Third is, I think, IT and data management. Each of my employee works on a system. Each of that system needs maintenance. It needs upgradation. I have so much of data in terms of my pictures. I have so much of data in terms of my designing. It needs to be managed. It needs to be put in a process so that it's easily accessible. It's definitely a job, and it's definitely a role. And it is no different. And there is nothing that you require extra to be in a wedding industry with these roles. So I think these are going to be my 3.
Okay, great. Jyota, your 3, and we've got about 3 more minutes, so we'll like really have to run through and make it succinct.
So I rightly said, I mean, wedding planning is an organization. Our business, it's a business. It's an organization that we all run. And the other 3 pointers that I would, think of would be a department for PR and marketing, which holds which also is very important, which means reaching out to the right wedding blogs, etc., ensuring that your weddings are out there. It's out in a social media team.
Yeah,
it could also hire on board graphics. Somebody who's creating graphics in-house, 3D layouts, somebody who's a 3D layout, somebody who creates CAD drawings as well. So there are a lot of job opportunities.
Yes.
That one can offer being in the realm of wedding planning as well.
I think you guys, both of you girls, set the context very well. Look at how you can fit into the enterprise or the business of wedding planning.
Right.
Don't look at yourself as only somebody who contributes to the front-facing client servicing part of the business. Look at where you can contribute to other aspects. Very well said. I'm moving on to you, Shrey. Shrey, I have a very important question for you. Okay? And this is very linked to wed jobs. And that is that there is a possibility for wed jobs to give you a platform as a planner to hire, especially when you're doing destination weddings and you are in far-flung locations across India and across the world. You have an opportunity to hire somebody across local teams. Is that an advantage to you? Or number one, is that an advantage to you? And number 2, how is it an advantage to you? And if you very quickly could tell us, what are you looking for in those local teams?
So to start with, yes, it's definitely an advantage to have a local team because they know the area, they know the surroundings, they know every now and then we need local help whenever we're doing a wedding in any new city or probably across the world for that matter. In terms of there are times when we're in a alien land and there can be communication gap also because there's a language barrier. So these local teams definitely help us bridge those gaps. Plus, land, as we follow law of the land, so every land has a different law to follow, different modalities to follow. So these local people definitely help us sort those as well. And what are we essentially looking at? We're looking at somebody who's well versed with the wedding field, who understands the confluence of a regional wedding as well as a person who's coming from outstation to host a wedding in their city. And most importantly, we all want to add local flavors to the wedding. For example, if we're doing a wedding in Kerala, we would definitely want the chendas and the nadaswarams and all. And now those are things that we probably know of, but then just to add it at the right place is essential. And these are the guys who can help us put those dots in the right place. Plus local food, and of course logistically, these guys are a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely.
So they're essential. They're very, very essential.
So, according to you, this is important. And also, would it help and the local team? How do you see it benefiting those professionals who join? Where do you think that there's a benefit to them? Because I don't want this only to be about the recruiter. I want this to be about quite a few students are online.
Absolutely. So now, a lot of cities in India at this point in time are budding as a wedding destination. Per se, back in the day, let's say like Jaipur has always been a hot destination. Almost all cities in Rajasthan have been hot destination. These local guys, once they start working with a certain company, they come in contact with other companies also, and then they become their beck and they're available at beck and call for everyone after a while. So it's like regular business that gets created for them, plus the kind of experience that every individual company gives them adds on to their wholesome experience, which eventually is great for their growth. And then they can also, after a while, everyone wants to move to a metro city and start working for a big company. So, putting all these things together, they can eventually, move into a big city and then become a part of one of the greater companies or better companies.
So I think the common thing that's coming up is there's a foothold that you actually can get into.
Yes.
I have one last question, and we're going to really run. I think somebody's going to run after me to beat me up after I ask this question. I can't have this unanswered. So Udit, I'm going to request you to keep it as concise as possible, yet as insightful as possible. And the question is, see, Wed Jobs, one of the most important things that I saw in terms of features is that they have a video of the aspirant that is uploaded. Now tell me, number one, is that advantageous as a planner for you to actually see the other person? And number two, what are the advantages for you this video profile, video feature has to you as a recruiter?
Yeah. So always a difference in understanding between going through a resume and taking a personal interview. And we are always trying to understand like what profile is it and how it's going to help us, if he's a good chap or no. So video would probably clarify a lot of apprehensions of shortlisting manpower for our work. Talking about a local manpower needed in a Goa or an Udaipur wedding, this feature would really help us with understanding the basic aesthetics as to what we want to offer to a client's wedding in terms of the manpower, to whom we can give the baggage of a company's brand value, to represent us in front of a client and guests attending the events. So I feel this would be a very cool idea to update videos on this helpful portal. No hashtag, no filter, of course, in the videos, so that we can probably go through the right video, the right profile, and the right. We can compare with the resume, and of course, then the personal interview can also help us in this way.
Excellent. So that also helps you have a busy way. What you see is what you get.
Yes.
There is a perspective, and it's not so much about profiling. What I'm getting from Udit, it's not so much about profiling. It's about profiling for the right fit. To ensure that you get the right fit in the organization, you fill the cog in the wheel. Excellent. Thank you, Udit. I could bank on you to keep it concise and insightful. Thank you for that. And with that, we close. I want to close by first of all thanking all our viewers. There have been a lot of questions that have come in. There's one question on, that somebody wants to really get a job in the industry. I would recommend that you log into wedjobs.in and get your profile uploaded. Someone with 8 years of experience is looking for a job. I think this is the best portal for you. And a big thank you, Farah. Big thank you, Shweta. A big thank you, Shrey and Udit. You guys have really given a lot of insight. Farah, your insight, your detailed insight. Shweta, your perspective and motivating insight on how you've inspired HR in your organization was really something else. Shrey, I think we really got an understanding of how, one can really fit into different skill sets and organizations as well. So thank you for that. And Udit, you also gave a very good perspective on how it works. What are you looking for? And all four of you have contributed immensely to this panel discussion. And with that, I want to say a big thank you, guys. Big thank you to Wed Jobs. And a big thank you to Marisha and Hemant. Congratulations are in order from all five of us. May this new venture thrive, and may you go all the way up and change the futures of so many in this country. And thank you, everyone, and over to you, Vishal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. That was such a beautiful, beautiful panel to listen to. Some great insights, some great inspiration, and real practical knowledge. I think it's beautiful. Thank you so much, guys. It's lovely. Now, the interesting
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. The interesting bit is that we're going to take everyone, all the viewers now, on a tour of the website once again. Can we have the website back up? Because we want to show everyone that in case you're looking out for a freelance opportunity or a project-based opportunity or a full-time job, our Job Ustad, who's our mascot, is going to be available for you. So let's take a look at how simple it is to search for jobs. Now, on the homepage, you'll find jobs, freelance, and project-basis jobs. All you have to do is in the search bar, search for the job. For example, now, if I'm a graphic designer, which I wish I was, but if I'm a graphic designer, all I have to do is press graphic designer and search for the city. In case I want it in a specific city, click the search option, and there you have it. So we have our listings there. All you need to do is click the link. You will get a little note about the job description, what the job entails, what is expected of you, and so on and so forth. And then you can choose to apply for the jobs and so on and so forth. But first up, all you need to do is you need to create an account. So make sure to create the account, go to click, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. So you have your name, you have everything else, click it, fill the options, and you'll have an account. So make sure to get the account done, and we'll see you on the website. I think it's brilliant. So also please remember that candidates, whoever you guys that are uploading your resumes, you can also upload a video resume. And now this was spoken about in the previous panel, where the employers will get a look and feel and will be able to hear you out in that video resume as you're able to present your best parts in front. So I think that is such a great feature to have. Now, you also, candidates who are looking for work from home opportunities can also apply for the jobs. Companies can rate the candidates as per their experience and performance of the candidate. So we're keeping it a little more well-rounded here. Now, let's move on to the next panel. This is something that's very, very interesting, because it's very interesting, this next panel, क्योंकि इतने सारे advantages or opportunities वो भी एक website होने में so I think it's important that all the candidates go for it. So grab the opportunity, work in the industry. More importantly, we have a very, very interesting panel ahead of us. Now, this panel is by some of the most experienced freelancers that we have, and what is their secret mantra to grow in the wedding industry. These are unbelievable people. Also, I have a small story about freelancing in the industry, which I will share probably after this. But in the meantime, these are our moderators and panelists of the discussion we like to call Work or Network, a Freelancer's Life. So I'm going to introduce our moderator for this very, very interesting session. He's the founder of eventsexpert.in, is a natural learner, young achiever, and curious about everything he finds new. He runs his own event planning business and has been a part of the industry for years. He's worked on hundreds of events and has helped budding students understand this industry better by sharing his knowledge and his experience with them via videos on YouTube. To add to this list of achievements, he has authored a book called Wedding Gyan, which is a step-by-step guide to plan and execute a flawless wedding. So we have with us the founder of eventsexpert.in, Yash Solanki.
Thank you so much, Vishal, for having me. And that was such a beautiful introduction. And thank you so much, vetjobs.in, for putting up this beautiful afternoon. And it was such a learning experience. And also give it up for all the amazing panelists in the house. And we are going to have fun in this whole panel. And everybody in this whole panel is so experienced and have achieved so much that whatever we are going to speak and whatever questions we are going to ask about freelancing or project management is going to help you start your career and give you boosts in this career. So without further ado, let me just give you introduction of all our panelists. So first, Abhishek Jain. Hello, brother. He is also a very good friend of mine, founder of Weddings by AJ, the Weddings by AJ this side. Abhishek is an extremely hardworking individual who has always been intrigued by the way the wedding industry works. Apart from it, he is extremely skillful in the field of creating stories, and we are in the business of creating stories, showcasing the best of weddings, and he believes in only one and one mantra: the show must go on. The next panelist is Sagar Thakkar. And Sagar Thakkar, I am like super excited because it takes a lot of hard work, good work, and dedication to be in the good books of Swaha. Currently working with DJ LX, he is an AS freelancer who has been in this industry for past 10 years. He has his experience in sound and lights department. He has worked with some of the best companies like Swaha, Celebrations, and so many more. Next panelist, Elisa DeCosta. And how popular are you, Alicia? Whoever I speak to, like everybody knows you in this freelancing world, and she is immensely committed and a very charming personality. She has always been a team player, and that has definitely been an essence of a success and acceptability in this industry. She becomes one with every company that she works with in spite of only freelancing on the projects. She has her expertise in decor, production, and hospitality. For all those girls who ask about, can girls make big in this career? Your answer is right on the screen. Next panelist is Shreya Dakshish Mistry, and I have been personally following her because of her all the PR works and being active on social media, and she has been so tremendously been active that you can just learn from the post and the kind of activities she's been doing. And we will speak about this in this later conversation with her about this. A young, resilient, and a creative entrepreneur, founder of 60 Seconds Asia Weddings, ventured into the business of creating memories and delivering guest experience 10 years ago. And she had the chance to have an on-ground experience in almost every aspect of wedding and event industry. And I'm so excited to have you as a panelist over here. So to start off, just everybody say one by one hi and show your beautiful smiles to all the audience watching you here, so that we start on a good note. And all the people in the chat who are watching this for around to us, please spam some hearts, man. इन लोगों के लिए जो पैनलिस्ट के लिए हार्ट स्पैम कर दो. So with that said, we'll start a conversation, and with the first question to Abhishek Jain. So Abhishek, this first question is to you. What is the ratio of time and effort put by you in work versus network? So for the audience, the topic work versus network. So as a freelancer, there is like two types of things we do. One is work, on hardcore work that we do on field, and to sum up it in one line, work can be hard work, but when you mix work plus network, it's smart work. So on this note, Abhishek bhai, what do you have to say on this?
First of all, thank you so much, Red Jobs, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you so much, Yash, for introducing me in this way. So I think we all know this thing that how much work is important for us is same as how much network is important for us. I think the ratio is 50-50. Sometimes we are on a field and we are doing a job, we are like, yeah, we have to give this, हाँ भी किसी का ये करना है, किसी का check-in करना है. Same at the same time we are thinking in our mind, अगर मैं इनका checking और अच्छा कर दूं तो क्या पता ये मेरे next client यही हो. This is, we have this kind of, in our mind we have this kind of strategies कि we have to perform not 100%, we have to perform 200% because a single wedding can be a mega lead for this upcoming season, for upcoming tenure. You never know from a single wedding or single person or single vendor how much work we will get if we impress them in a general way, in a good way. So I think it's 50-50 for everyone, and we always should give equal focus on our work or our network.
Perfect. That's absolutely true. And it has to be given equal importance. And taking this same question to you, Alicia. So what do you feel, right? Work as a freelancer, work and networking, what is the role and how much weightage and how much ratio do you give it to each of the elements?
Right. Hi, Yash. Thank you firstly for the attractive introduction that you gave, not only for me, but for all of us. And it feels amazing to have connected to everybody after a really long time. Also, a very big thank you to Hemant sir and Marisha ma'am, our very dear, our very own, for even considering us and making a part of this important subject, and also a part of Wed Jobs. Coming to the question that you asked, Yash, yes, for me, I agree with Abhishek. It has always been an equivalent ratio. 50-50 for me as well. It has always gone hand in hand. So, for example, when you approach an HR or an interviewer, you are anyway meeting the person for the first time. You connect with the person, whether you get a job or you don't get a job, but you have the contact saved. Maybe you grow in life, come back to the same person, you get an opportunity clicked. Similarly, with my experience, when I started events, I didn't know E of events. I was working in an advertising firm. I happened to get a call by fluke saying, do you want to try events? I did not know anything. I started corporate. My mentor helped me a lot. It's give and take. When you want to learn is when your boss will also help you grow. It happened so that from corporate, we jumped to weddings. And trust me, it has been 10 years for now. Even if I call her, she will still recommend me. She will still give me a project. She will still give my name as a reference to different planners in the industry. So if you consider network and work, it goes at par.
Perfect. So that was a perfect answer. Sagar bhai, you have over 10 years of experience. You might have worked in so many different departments, so many different companies, and you might have scaled the kind of projects, like, because as a freelancer, many people think freelancing, how will you sustain for a long time? So I want to understand it from you, that what is your take and how much effort do you put, and what is networking apart along with freelancing? Like, what is your take? How do you work, focus on work more or network more, and what is your take on this?
So first of all, thanks to Marisha ma'am and Hemant sir, and thank you for the lovely introduction, Yash. So I'll say the same thing as Alicia and Abhishek told, that 50% of the work and 50% of network. Why? Because my work is my network. Okay.
Yeah.
Once I give a good work and I like good with my work and everything, then it built my network automatically. As Abhishek told, that we don't know in that 500 people or 300 people, one of the client click with us and we get a big fat wedding to do with that. So I'll say my work and network go to the same ratio, 50-50, because my work is my ratio. My work is my network. That's it.
Okay, perfect. And Shreya, you have been so active in the hospitality industry and in the wedding industry. So does your hospitality bus require more networking than work, or more work than networking? What is your take?
Firstly, Yash, thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction. I think in the first place, networking itna hi important hai, jitna ki kaam. But at the same time, I think quality of work that you deliver speaks much louder in terms of whichever wedding planner you are working with, whichever event planner you are working, or be it with your clients. Once you deliver your work, I think your networking happens just on its own, because you get a lot of recommendation. People start talking about you at the end of the day. that we got the work done from them and it was really commendable. So that is where your network grows eventually. So I think they both have an equal part, 50%, 50%. But at the same time, if you deliver a good quality work, then I think your network just stands.
Okay, absolutely put in. Yes. So the next thing is we spoke that work and network is equally important. So Sagar, by starting with you, followed by Abhishek bhai, what are the special efforts that you put into your work that you are remembered for your next project? Are there any special measures that you take, or is there any certain process that you work into or with the company, like uska from, it can be in the beginning or it can be something you do after the project, but is there something special that you do that company remembers you and get back to you?
So I feel whenever we get a project, personally I get a project, I treat not just as a project or not as just a work. I feel that this is my own family wedding, or I feel this is my own project which I'm working on it. So we get attached with the family people and with the companies and everything. So people can remember us that one of the person as a freelancers came to our project. So it happens like you have to work with your like own family wedding or own project or something which we do. So the reason people calls me again and again.
That's right. It's like you put your heart to the work and company gives their heart to you. Absolutely. Yes. So Abhishek bhai, in lockdown also or lockdown ke baad bhi, you are the person who has been completely updating on Instagram, working with this company, working with that company. So what is the secret sauce that you put to a company that company calls back to you and you have such good relations with all these different companies?
So Yash, and what I think, according to this question, what the extra we do for our client or for our the other companies also, like I'm in Chandigarh right now, so my main focus is like whenever somebody from Mumbai, somebody from Gujarat, somebody from Udaipur, somebody from Delhi is coming to Chandigarh, he or she or any company should feel like that they are in their home. It's all about their feel. They never should feel like we are coming to another city and इसमें यहाँ problem है, यहाँ पे problem है, ये नहीं हो रहा, नहीं यहाँ पे ना वो मुंबई जैसा मजा नहीं आ रहा. The reason why I came to Mumbai, why I went to my mentors and all, just because whenever we talk to our client in Chandigarh, they always say one thing, कि Abhishek, if we get some wedding planner from Mumbai, there will be a big difference. This is the main reason I'm putting my best, putting our 100% to the people who are coming to Chandigarh for any destination wedding, for anything. It's all about the language. One thing I want to add, that's language. I am telling you, it's a way more bigger thing than what we think. If I'm doing a wedding of a Haryanvi client, the client is from Haryana, from Punjab, and he has crores and crores to spend. But sometimes he needs somebody who can understand their feel, what he really wants. If he wants chapati with that particular ghee. So there are people in Haryana, they love their chapati with ghee, and we have to understand this, that we can't overlook these small pointers. So I make sure, and I think we all have to make sure the small details and the feel of the client that we can deliver 100%.
Yes, the personalized touch, right? Absolutely. Exactly. Amazing. So, Alicia, you are like the rock star in this freelancing industry. As I told you in the introduction also, everybody knows you. Like, what is the secret sauce? And I need the process. Like, what do you do? What magic do you do on company that they are like, humko Alicia hi chahiye in the work?
Yes, it's of course no fun to toil away from a job where your efforts go unnoticed. It also doesn't mean that you highlight your achievements by bragging about what you do. There's nothing worse than feeling unseen or unheard or not valued about your own workplace. But what I've always believed or what I've always done and continue to do is be realistic. Just be so realistic that, and always have good intentions. You need to have your own self-confidence so strong. Like when Abhishek mentioned language, I actually got a funny incident, and it happens in most of my events because I speak English. My Hindi is funny. And if clients don't understand, then I have to become a part of their family member and gel so well that I still get the work done. So it's not that you feel offended and just be low about it, but yes, be strong enough to approach the client. Also, not waiting for anyone else to complete your task. For example, if you have something really difficult, or if you're stuck in a situation, there's something else going on. In the meanwhile, if you can try and balance things with help of someone, but if nobody's around, then I think you need to balance your time such that you yourself can do that task. Always question your seniors. I've always questioned my seniors in terms of difficulty. No one will come and harm you or call you a joke for that. If there has been any mistake, then I think you should consider rectifying it rather than grieving on it and feeling low. So these are some key points that I've always been following.
And this one point which I feel is so important, that giving your 100% is so important as a freelancer, because most of the companies that feel that we have the employees who are there with us for a long time, we can trust them and we cannot trust freelancers. But if a freelancer is of some help to that company when the company needs that freelancer, so that trust increases by multiple folds.
Absolutely.
And uske baad mein fir aap logon ka long run relation, you automatically make it, right? So this was from the freelancers point of view. Now Shreya, you have been working and you have been repeatedly working with freelancers also by hiring freelancers. So I want you to tell me something, that what qualities that you look in the freelancers for repeat works, or what are the things that you look to hire them as a freelancer?
So what I would say, that what we look into, or I think anyone must look into, not only the freelancers, but anyone working in the industry of weddings and events. First, it's a very personal industry. It's a family oriented business. So you cannot be somewhere where people say no. You have to be on your toes. You cannot say no. You have to all the time be pleasing, be upcoming if they want something. So when the freelancers usually do not say no to things, there is a quality of work which is delivered by them, which they do not, they promise. It's either they overpromise and underdeliver, or they don't promise at all, and there is no delivery that happens at the end of the day. So I think when we say, if you want freelancers to be used repeatedly on the events, one, use people who are at least with a minimum experience of 5 to 7 years. Then we use the freshers, where we can train them and we can have them on board with us for quite a few projects where they learn how the industry actually works. Because we see at the end of the day, all of us have been in the industry. We see people, we see a glamored life, to be honest, right? So people are very, they have a wrong notion about it, that getting into weddings and events is all about fame, glory and all of it. But guys, hello, let's take a reality check, come to the ground and let's understand how bad are we in a position when we are on the event. So all the freshers as well, when we take on events, the first brief we give them is, whatever you had in your mind about events and weddings, get rid of it, because that is not the reality. So then of course people will get on ground, understand, and people who deliver best and whatever is promised, I think that's who we use all the time.
Absolutely fantastic. So the next topic that we are about to speak and is very trending also, the personal branding or the company branding. And when this things comes into picture, the social media, the videos, or your the PR stuff, right? The Shreya wala part ka jo introduction tha, wo wala part. So I feel the personal branding wala jo part has become so important. So I look up to a person and I admire Bill Gates, and unki jo do quote hai, which I like the most is, content is the king, everybody follows it. And the second thing is, if you're internet or if you are not on the internet, then your business will soon be out of the business. So I want you to discuss on this particular topic, Shreya, that how important is as for a freelancer to put him out in the market, because jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai hamare industry mein. That is as simple as it, right? So how do you want to convey it, PR, social media, and putting out as a freelancer also, it is so important? Or what is your take?
I would say go all out on social media first, but at the same time, while you are working on your events, don't compromise on your work. if you are hampering your own work, the social media will be full for some time. The planners and people like us hiring you will be full for 2 events, 3 events. But at the end of the day, we are no fools. We have been doing this for donkey's ages now. So we do realize that even for me, I understand my PR, my social skills are important. But when you are at work, you cannot be on social media. Go all out. Say you worked on this project with this planning company, this hospitality company, whatever. But either after your projects, in your break time, but not on your events.
Okay, perfect. And I think social media and unka balance, of course, you have to keep it, but both are equally important in today's age. And as a freelancer, you have to put in yourself. And it's funny, like during this lockdown also, I was like, agar lockdown bhi aa gaya, to I'll build my social brand rather than doing this. And later I'll use the social brand to grow the business and everything. So moving forward, since this portal, talking about this portal, vetjobs.in, and I so pray that ye kash pehle hota, mujhe easily Swaha mein job mil gaya tha, because I started my career in weddings with Swaha only. So this portal will be helpful to freelancers, project managers, and at the same time, this freelancers who are from different cities, because I feel Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, ये सब जो metro cities है, उसमें you easily find projects, right? But what about, Alicia, from people who are from different cities, and this portal helping them to grow their career as a freelancing or getting them projects or in multiple departments? Because when we started as a freelancer, we did not have so many options. Ke, chalo, my skill is client servicing, I'll go and take freelancing projects in client servicing or take in production. So how good or how blessing it is for the people who are just starting their career in weddings, Alicia?
Oh, it's absolutely a blessing. Firstly, all thanks to VetJobs, because what has happened is, we had Naukri.com to begin with. Even we did from the beginning. Naukri.com, we had TimesJob, we had LinkedIn, we had all of these portals, and we had to literally type our skill and find something for us. But vetjobs.in is such a blessing. It's such a boon. I can't even tell you. The vibe is so amazing. Like, Marisha ma'am said in the beginning, no one really works alone. She mentioned about how we all can come together, network together, and make our own team and work as a family. Despite, the raraing of entrepreneurialism and independence, the fact is we will never not need each other. So I want to put it positively to everybody that let's be there together, whether it's a freelancer, recruiter, planner. I think we all need each other. Now coming to people who are freelancers looking at individual departments to work, like all other panel discussions that happen, yes, VetJobs is going to be helpful for sure, where you can put your skill in, where you can find your particular city, where you can find your particular passion. And depends whether somebody wants to do a permanent job, whether somebody wants to do a freelancing job or an internship to begin with. I think there are colleges who, approach for internships. But again, when they work with experienced people on ground is when you actually know what you do. So for me, I don't see this as a threat for us or for our business, but as a boon and a blessing for all of us.
Absolutely fantastic. So Abhishek bhai, the next question is the whole structure of freelancing and more of the unorganized side, right? So we are in this unorganized side, and there are many people who are into this manpower business. So do you think that this portal can be a threat to them, or this is just a more way of organizing things and that is there? Sabke liye kaam hai. What do you think? Abhishek bhai, you are on mute.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So what I think about this whole industry, it's not about just only VetJobs, but the whole industry is changing as a speed of light right now. What I'm thinking after this coronavirus thing, जो हमारी पूरी industry में change आ रहा है, I see n number of people, n number of students in different colleges who worked really hard in their college fest. They worked really hard in their volunteership, but they never get that opportunity to make their career in wedding planning or in event management. And they were like, it's okay, छोड़ देते हैं यार, कोई ना secure career नहीं है तो कुछ और कर लेते हैं. Because they don't find jobs on LinkedIn, they don't find jobs on Naukri.com. They don't find jobs on this help post groups and WhatsApp groups. So this will be a big benchmark in coming year. I think we are setting a trend right now. I'm damn sure in coming 2 years or 3 years, people gonna like this idea in n number of things. I'm telling you, the people will be running behind bed jobs in coming years, 2 years, when college will open, when people get to know more about event management, people will know about more about weddings, and there will be a good database of students who are looking into webjobs.in daily for different works. I'm telling you, there are people in North, in Haryana, in Punjab, in Himachal, in Delhi, who doesn't know where to go. And their parents doesn't allow them sometimes to go to Mumbai to get that kind of exposure. But if they get this kind of opportunity, this kind of database, this kind of, sort out mentorship also, they get to know a lot about the industry. And mark my words, I'm a really small part of this industry, but mark my words, in coming 5 years, this will be the new LinkedIn or the Naukri.com of wedding industry.
Absolutely. And the best wishes for every one of us in this wedding industry, that this is a blessing for all of us to hire or get hired anybody.
Yeah.
So Sagar bhai, you are working with so many freelancers, and so I want you to answer in terms ke abhi jo aapka process hai to get work as a freelancer, or abhi to you have a lot of network and everything, but when WedJobs has come into picture, right? So what is the process, and what do you think of the solution for companies to hire freelancers and freelancers to get hired from company, and the process that we were used to back then? So what is your take on this?
So I think WedJob is a great platform. Because because of coronavirus, as Abhishek bhai told, because of coronavirus, many freelancers or many upcoming people are like कि यार अभी इसमें कुछ नहीं बचा, अभी कब खुलेगा क्या पता and all stuff. And as I was doing session with Marisha ma'am, I was just watching live with Marisha ma'am. She told me, guys, don't quit it. We will rock it again soon. So this is the best platform. Like for example, I'll say I've never been work in Northeast. I would love to work in Northeast. This is the best platform with the connect with Northeast companies, or any of the people are working with any of the event companies are working in the Northeast and looking for the freelancers or something. So this is the best platform to connect for the freelancers and for the upcoming people, because coronavirus is not permanent and we are permanent. Yeah. So let's rock it again soon, guys.
Of course, yes. So Alicia, what do you think of this whole structured process, right? So abhi tak hum log थोड़े से when freelancers want to reach a company, so the first thing or the first biggest problem is we don't know only much companies in weddings because of the whole unorganized sector. So which company is hiring for which positions, or whom to approach, or we don't know. There is no guidance in our industry as such there is in MBA or any such other institutes. So what do you think that this whole WedJobs.in will act in as, and how supportive it will be for all the freelancers or the freshers?
Firstly, I'll tell you, it is helping for people like us, because in the whole of lockdown, in the whole of Corona, what has happened is we've got so many messages from freelancers who worked with us, from our own individuals who worked with us. क्या हो रहा है, कुछ आएगा नहीं आएगा, अगले सीजन के लिए हम ब्लॉक करके रखें कि हम दूसरा कंपनी ज्वाइन करें. So these are messages which have come to us. It's going to help us. Please, there is something now. There is something where you can reach out, and it's a total guidebook for all of us. What benefits one individual seeking a job also benefits us as a recruiter. Knowing good people who then become very valuable to us is only the key. And as a freelancer also, what's best when I get the opportunity to grow more with new set of people in the market, seeking my own passion. There's no stop to learning. We all know that. There's no stop to growing. Again, what benefits them will benefit me as well. So it goes again hand in hand. WedJobs is definitely opening doors for more opportunities for us, for freelancers, even for planners to grow. Reach out to more people, make their own business grow, and also, get some more good friendships and networking.
Of course, that's absolutely fantastic. So,
yes, if you don't mind, I would like to add something.
Yes, sure.
A point we have been missing, that the main thing that WedJobs is going to really help us is it has a video content which can be uploaded. Your
Yes.
skills are going to be
Right.
visible to out people. You don't have to, you won't really have to go to a job interview if people are hiring you for an RSVP or a communication where your communication strength are required.
Yes.
Right.
Right. So video uploading, and a lot of people, even today, when you see, I get a lot of messages every day. What can you guide us? Which school do we join for when it comes to events? So people are still not aware that there are a lot of more streams inside events and weddings. For them, it's all about wedding planning. But
Yeah.
because it's now on Wed Jobs and it will have a category of what all is included, people will have an understanding, okay, these are all the categories that have been listed here and we can specialize in one. We can maybe fall in love with one of the category and that becomes your passion at the end of the day.
Perfect. Yes. And the video feature, absolutely, because it shows you the transparency. Because resume mein what will you see? Because a person might have used Grammarly and wrote fancy English, and you can't judge a person from a photo, right? But when it's video, it helps the company to identify ki what are his actual skills, how he speaks, or whatever he's speaking, is it true or not? So it is that, and great that you have pitched in this point, and absolutely fantastic. So also, I just want to let the chat people in the chat, if you have any questions you want to ask this panel, you can just drop in. We have 10 minutes. I have a few more questions. Till then, if you have any questions, you can just send us to it. So my next question, Abhishek, so what is that one challenge that you have faced in the very beginning of this career, or what is this portal will help? And इन दोनों को combine करके what do you think? Like जो challenge आपने face किया जो अभी freshers को नहीं face करना पड़ेगा. So what is your take on this? Yes, Abhishek bhai.
Yeah. So I think the major challenge in this particular wedding industry is where to start.
Yes.
The challenge is where to start. If a person living in a small city and he is very well with the YouTube and he know बड़े शादियाँ होती है, 20 करोड़ का शादी होता है, 50 करोड़ का भी शादी होता है. But he was like कि हाँ मेरे को भी ना wedding planner बनना है, मेरे को भी ना इस wedding का part बनना है. But where he will go? To whom he will ask? How I will start my career? There is no wedding schools and that kind of things in small cities. There are schools, very good schools in Mumbai, in Delhi. There are a number of institutes in metro cities. But when we talk about the small cities, tier 3, tier 2 cities, where are the guidance? Where are the mentors? For that, I think Wed Jobs will give them a positive side. Yes, if you make something out of you, you will get a good job, you will get a good freelance work, you will get a good project. That will motivate that student to work on himself or herself to improve their skills, improve their communication skill, improve their personality. If they do that, then they can move to some bigger city and they can be suitable for some bigger projects. It will give them a way to reach this, this whole structure of wedding planning.
Yeah.
That big companies. I think it will be a bridge for that kind of students.
Fantastic. So one question that I saw in the chat was what is freelancing or project manager? So just to make it very clear for freelancing, so as the word suggests, freelancing, like you are free to work on particular day with one company in one department, on other day you can work with other company on other department, and the project manager on the other hand is a mixture of fixed job plus freelancing, where you are hired for that particular project, and the project can be for 15 days, 1 month, 3 months, as long as it can be, but you are not a permanent employee of that company. You are hired for that particular project, and that is how the freelancing and project manager works. And I believe that this is the core, because as a starter you have two options to get into this industry. One is freelancing, other is internship. So this freelancing, if you get a good start, you get a good group, and you understand the basics or importance of working plus networking and all that things we spoke in this interview, you are going to make a fantastic career in this industry, and you are going to get a boost and very good start. So this was such a fantastic panel, and it was great talking to you all, and thank you so much for all the knowledge and all the information that you have shared. Abhishek, Alisha, Sagar and Shreya, thank you so much all.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
It's
Marisha.
our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi guys, thank you so much for that. And I think it's आपने तो हमारे सारे planners को भी you've told them all the good parts about being a freelancer, the mantra of a freelancer, and for everyone over here, please make sure to go and check it out. If you're looking for freelancing opportunities or full-time jobs, make sure to use this opportunity. Please remember once again, as I said, that we have that launch offer that's happening. Ye jo launch offer hai, the code that we have for it is Ustad 1709. Abhi spelling dhyan se suniye, it's USTAAD 1709. And the first 1,000 people who sign up today get a special launch discount. Now, before we move on to the rest of the evening, which is going to be at Grand Hyatt Mumbai, we're going to be taking you live from there. And our next panel discussion will be, Are You All Ears? We have a fantastic set of guest of honors who will be commemorating the launch. We have Sabas Joseph, co-founder and director of Viscraft International Entertainment. We have Vijay Arora, founder and director, Touchwood Group. We have Manoj Gopalani, director, 77 Entertainment, and Rituraj Khanna, CEO, Q Events. So it's been beautiful to do this for you guys over the course of this afternoon. I love being a part of this, and a huge thank you to Hemant and Marisha, and a huge thank you to VetJobs for coming out with such a fantastic opportunity for recruiters and for people who want to grow in the wedding industry. My name is Vishal Raskina. Before we close today, I'd like to connect with someone who's extremely special. Now, I've met him a few times. I don't know if he remembers me, but every time I've met him, I've left always inspired. We have with us the godfather of the Indian wedding industry. With his passion and perseverance, he has risen as a creator and a mentor. And other than that, other than being a pioneer, he's a man who constantly injects progress into the industry. He's a visionary who moves in unison with the fraternity and strikes a chord with junior and senior professionals in an unbiased manner. Under his leadership, Q Events has become a go-to brand when it comes to ultra luxury weddings. With us, we have Rituraj Khanna.
Hi, Vishal. So here I am at Grand Hyatt now, all set and ready to attend the grand show of VetJobs. Marisha and Hemant, a beautiful message you've created, the platform for all the youngsters, which everybody dreams for. So all the best, and keep in touch, everybody. We'll be logging in at around 5 o'clock again. So be ready, keep yourselves free, and we will wait for you to join in. See you soon.